Hi, it's Teresa from Dodge Nature Center, and time for another Nature to Go. This past weekend, I was volunteering at a local park, and when I looked down the trail, I saw this animal standing off to the side. And it really got me confused because it looked like a squirrel, but not the squirrels that I'm used to. So I was trying to figure out what kind of a squirrel was I looking at. Now, I know some squirrels pretty well. Gray squirrels and red squirrels I know a lot about. Red squirrels are reddish. Their fur actually has sort of a reddish color to it. And they're smaller than the gray squirrels that we see a lot of the time. And a word that is frequently used when you're reading information about these squirrels is feisty. Even though they're smaller, they will chase gray squirrels all over the place because they're so territorial. They've been spotted in every county in the state, but they're more in the northeast and very much less in the southwest. Another squirrel that we're very familiar with is the gray squirrel. Okay, some people even call them tree rats, but they are everywhere. They're very comfortable being in city areas, but out in the forested areas, you can find them just about anywhere. So my mystery squirrel I knew wasn't a red squirrel, and I knew it wasn't a gray squirrel. And I also knew it wasn't a variation of the gray squirrel. Well, what's that? We have black and white squirrels here in Minnesota, and they're just basically a gray squirrel with coloration differences. If a gray squirrel has a genetic mutation to where it has an absence of the pigment melanin, then it's going to have the white fur. It's an albino if it lacks pigment in its eyes, and then you'll see it has pink eyes. So this one has a pink eye, so it's an albino. There is also something called leucism, and that's where there's less pigment, but those squirrels will have a dark eye. So it's the opposite case for black squirrels. Instead of an absence of the melanin, they have an excess of the melanin, which gives them their very rich colored black fur. So I know this isn't a black or a white gray squirrel, and I know it's not a red squirrel because it's tall. It's much taller even than the gray squirrels. So I did a little research when I got home, and I found out this is a fox squirrel. Now, these are found throughout the state, but not so much in the northeast corner. They are our largest kind of tree squirrel, and it has this orangey yellow color to it. They're not as agile as the other squirrels, so they actually sometimes fall out of trees, but it doesn't seem to hurt them as they are able to recover fairly quickly. You might see it has something in its mouth. It's holding a nut. And so like our gray squirrels and our red squirrels, they like acorns, they like walnuts, they like tree seeds. They are very adaptable in terms of foods that they will eat because these guys will even go after garbage. So keep your eyes out the next time you spot a squirrel. Maybe you'll notice too, it looks a little different than what you expect to see a squirrel looking like. And maybe you'll have spotted a fox squirrel as well. Thanks for joining me for this episode of Nature to Go. And we'll talk to you again next time.